Bounce back here from midweek U.S. Open Cup defeats to MLS sides, and the second battle between these two in just 35 days is underway. And immediately it's the 18-year-old Alex Wagner as he loses possession. Yoseki cleared away by Will Seymour. Seymour, part of a defense that conceded 2 goals to Austin FC on Wednesday night as New Mexico were shown the door in the U.S. Open Cup. Although Chris, a valiant effort. Austin advancing on to the round of 16, and for Monterey Bay, suffering the same fate, although being able to push LAFC to not only 120 minutes, but then 5-4 on penalties on Tuesday night. Just some incredible stuff from both sides here.
Yeah, and obviously, looking to bounce back, obviously playing against MLS opposition there. Great test for both teams, but you wonder how much energy, and then the travel to New Mexico as well, how much energy did Monterey Bay put into that game? Because obviously emotional, getting that far and being able to push an MLS team, a really good MLS team, all the way to PKs. High praise.
The rain starting to fall here in Albuquerque. This is our first Bank of America corner kick of the evening. With over 4,200 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. And sending this one is Alex Dixon. Played away by New Mexico. It's going to be a throw in here for the Crisp and Kelp. The Monterey Bay come in excellent league form, Chris. Have not lost a league match since April 1st. That's 5 consecutive unbeaten, winning twice. They've drawn 3 in that stretch. One of those wins was against this New Mexico side back on April 8th. The Black and Yellow scoring the opener, and then 4 consecutive goals scored by Monterey Bay. New Mexico able to bookend the night, but at the end it was Monterey Bay victorious 4-2. And as we mentioned, that just 35 days ago.
Yeah, and I mean, that's another added motivation for New Mexico United. Disappointing evening out on the West Coast. Scoring the goal started so well, and then, like you said, those 4 unanswered goals. And the other worrying thing for New Mexico United fans is Monterey Bay's away form. Played 3 games away so far, yet to taste defeat on the road.
This here going to be a goal kick for Anthony Siaha. Siaha, the 25-year-olds. We have a look at our coaches spotlight here, presented by PNM. That's Zach Prince. Led the club to the highest point total in club history last year, 51 points in his second year as the head coach and technical director. But Siaha, as I was saying, came off his line to make a few big saves in that Tuesday night match against LAFC. You see some pressure from the 18-year-old Alex Wagner. Some more. Connects with Suggs, who was looked to have been partially blinded momentarily there by the sunlight. Schwartz, he too saw some action in the midweek. This is Wagner trying to chase this one down. Siaha, and as I just mentioned, not afraid to come off his line and make a big play, and that's exactly what Siaha does as he boots this one out. Swartz. Out of Needham, Massachusetts, Harry Swartz. Previously spent time at Hartford Athletic. This one cleared away by Revelar. Chase Boone. Now this one played forward. It's Dixon. Dixon leading Monterey Bay and scoring this season 7 goals. Moreno has this one poked away. Here's Greg Hurst, the Scotsman, giving chase. Eventually, the visitors heading back the other way. Rebelart trying to connect with Valesky, who's run off the ball by Kalen Ryden. And the foul is going to be called. That's going to give us time to give you this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Dixon plays this one forward, and the offside flag is up. Maury Donor, the culprit.
It's interesting seeing the way that New Mexico United lining up to start off with Suggs being utilised as a left winger essentially, but it seems like maybe he's tasked with being a little more defensive, and Moreno playing a similar position on the right-hand side. Doesn't appear to be being asked to do much defensive work and being allowed to roam a little more freely, stay a little higher. So expect to see New Mexico United maybe attack a little more down this right-hand side.
We've got our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game. For New Mexico, lock down Valesky, tire them out, and welcome back these. Chris Wehan on the bench here tonight. He's missed a significant chunk of time. Chris, we did see him make an appearance as a second-half sub in the midweek against Austin FC, but you know he's chomping at the bit to get down here on the pitch in front of the home fans.
Yeah, for sure. And seeing him when he came on the pitch on Wednesday against Austin, immediately his quality and his intensity and an attacking sense and how he increases the tempo immediately as soon as he steps on the pitch could make a huge difference for New Mexico United.
Wagner taken down there by Kai Green. That's the captain for Monterey Bay, and you can see perfectly timing this challenge here. Tonight's replay is brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling home and business service needs. A little bit of a welcome to the league there for the 18-year-old.
It's been amazing to see and great to see how much trust Zach Prince and the coaching staff are putting in these young players. Think about the last game against RGV, down 2-0, stepped onto the field, and you know, just their energy and their enthusiasm alone just kind of sparked New Mexico's. There was a little bit of a stuttering offense that day. They really didn't offer a whole lot early on in the game, and that youthful exuberance, I guess, completely changed the game.
You saw Robles playing the ball that was then touched on to Rivas for the equalizer. He came on, had quite the impact.
Yeah, the Schwartz goal was Wagner redirecting unlucky not to get his first goal of the season. But yeah, put a great shot on goal, and Schwartz right there to get the rebound.
This is our injury report here, brought to you by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. Christian Nava, Daniel Bruce, the two names on the team sheet here for New Mexico United. This here, the second half of our coaches spotlight. This is Frank Yallop, former Premier League player, also played for the Canadian national team. He's won multiple awards as the coach of the year as well. But Chris, we got to see Daniel Bruce pregame down pitch side. He's actually celebrating a birthday today, so wishing a happy birthday to our good friend. And I think I can speak for most when we say we can't wait to see him back out on the pitch, just the spirit that he brings.
Oh, and obviously he's a fan favourite, and he got serenaded pretty much as soon as he walked down the tunnel, right? So yeah, he's definitely a favourite of everyone here, and there's a buzz whenever he gets on the pitch and starts driving with the ball, and ultimately falls down and wins a free kick.
Bruce suffering the upper body injury during that tense match with Phoenix Rising during the U.S. Open Cup here at the Lab. From what we understand, he shouldn't be missing a significant amount of time. We'll hopefully be back here in the next couple of weeks. You're a New Mexico United fan as Greg Hurst has this one taken off his feet. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. This is Justin Portillo, the New Orleans, Louisiana native. Portillo sends this one in, looking for Wagner, and it's going to be cleared away by Kai Green, but it looks like we've got a free kick in the box anyway, and that's going to give us time to say thank you for 10 amazing years. Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria, New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias, is Wagner doing his best there, Chris.
Yeah, trying his best, maybe a little Chilena there. Throwing the bicycle kick, not short on confidence, clearly.
Hamilton look to play this one forward. Again, Wagner leading the turf. Schwartz looking to connect with Wagner, and that one just goes out.
He just skipped off the turf a little bit. We were commenting, obviously, before the game, the ground staff were watering, had the sprinklers on, and you see it absolutely perfect evening in the Duke City for a game. A little breezy, but absolutely gorgeous night. And pitch looks in there, good condition.
Bryden wins the header here. Played back by Yoseki. Dixon now. Boleski giving chase, and Tambakis comes out to grab it. Good crowd here tonight. Weren't quite sure with the weather here today. It was very windy under a high wind warning throughout most of the day here, and luckily, Chris, some of the wind seems to have calmed down. So close to 9,000 here tonight. Expected to come out and enjoy a beautiful evening like you were making mention, and this Western Conference showdown between these two squads. Forward Boone giving chase to it, and it's the Greek goalkeeper, Alex Tambakis. Fresh off of conceding twice in the midweek, Tambakis. And to be fair, Austin were very, very tight.
Austin, I mean, that first half specifically was almost a lesson, right? Like, they were so good on the ball, so efficient, I guess is probably the word I would use, right? They're so efficient with the ball, and every time they crossed the halfway line, which unfortunately was a lot, they looked like they could score. It was, pandemonium at times in the 18-yard box for New Mexico United. Yeah, but yeah, there's no shame New Mexico United going out to a very, very good Austin FC team.
The facilities there. I was at the Q2 on Wednesday night, and everything was honestly just incredible. Everything from the stadium itself. I think that's something that New Mexico United fans are looking forward to, as they've got their own stadium coming in the next few years. But the Q2 stadium itself is just a world-class facility. Everybody that we interacted with there, from Austin staff to their supporters, to even their stadium staff, just incredible. You talk about a great away day. I would highly recommend getting out to Austin and to the Q2 if you've got a chance.
I think I need your job, right? You got to go on all these away days, San Diego, Phoenix, Austin now. Yeah, I think I need to get on your schedule.
I'm doing research, scouting, all right, scouting.
Also, what you're saying, it was paid for as well.
I never said that. My credit card definitely does not say that. Oh, but jokes aside, a world-class facility. And yeah, like you said, no shame there for New Mexico, and the same for Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the effort that they were able to put forth, the comeback. We showed New Mexico United's comeback in Week 9 just in the pre-match, but But the comeback from Monterey Bay, they actually equalized in the 90th minute to send that match to extra time. They go ahead in extra time. LAFC able to equalize 2-2 at the end of 120 minutes. Then they go into the penalties where LAFC finally prevail 5-4. And so if that's any indicator, both of these clubs with bright futures ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And I tell you what, like obviously, Monterey Bay last year, start of the season, started off a little sluggish, but this year, the trap's quick, really have done well at home. 2 wins, 2 losses, two ties as well, so nothing shabby at home. And like I said earlier, no losses so far away from home. Looking to add to that today, but I guess it depends whether you're a glass half full or a half empty kind of guy. Only 1 win so far on the road as well. So again, they'll be looking to add to that.
Last time these two clubs played here at the Lab, it was New Mexico prevailing that August 20th of last fall. Chris Wehan, Preston Tabordataka on the score sheet that day. In fact, it was 2 goals in back-to-back minutes, 38th minute for Wehan, 39th minute for Preston, and that was enough to see New Mexico through. It was a 2-0 victory that day in front of over 7,400 people. And so New Mexico looking to protect that home record here against Monterey Bay, and also perhaps extract some revenge from that match that we mentioned just 35 days ago, where Monterey Bay put up a 4 spot on the black and yellow. Here comes Chase Boone. He's got options, lays it off. This is Donor. Maury Donor has that one cleared away by Austin Yearwood, the North Carolina native, former Richmond Kickers man.
You see both outside backs for both teams, Schwartz, Suggs, we're all looking to get forward. And there you can just see the touch by Boone just sent Donor just a little bit wider than what he wants, so it slowed the play down, allowed New Mexico United to get bodies behind the ball before any damage was done.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
It's awesome to just watch from the vantage point that we have here. The little game of cat and mouse that's going on. New Mexico United in possession. It's like a 3-4-3. Hurst, Wagner, and Moreno staying really high, really spread out, trying to stretch the back line of Monterey Bay. But then out of possession, Schwartz tucks in. It becomes almost a back 4. Suggs tucks in from wide as well. And you can see the same with Monterey Bay. 2 centre-backs are really the only 2 who stay back, and they deal with Wagner. And the outside backs are really pushing Hurst and Moreno deeper when they have possession as well.
Suggs comes in with a hard challenge. Going to ground, I believe that's Maury Donor. It is. And will Suggs be able to escape without a yellow? That's our official, Sergei Demianchuk. The former captain, Josh Suggs, going to get a talking to here in the 19th minute. Minute here at the Lab. Maury Donor, the Canadian, here for the throw-in. Spent 3 seasons playing in the Canadian Premier League, most recently with Halifax Wanderers. Yoseki plays this out. Here's Chuy Enriquez. Back to Yoseki. Now Revelar. Eventually leads back out to Martinez. Cross goes in, and it's sent away by Will Seymour. Donor now looks to play this back up, and the offside flag is raised on Alex Dixon. As Dixon looks to be a little shaken up after going into some field signage there. A little bit of a collision with Kalen Ryden.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost his eye that he's maybe got a little issue with there. Really odd. Yeah, but you see Kalen Ryden, like no malice intended there, tries to pick him up, make sure he's good, and it appears no harm done.
So this a Fiesta Auto free kick for Alex Tambakis. Assistant referees on either side. You've got Chris Canales and Rhett Hemmel. Our fourth official tonight, Mario Garcia. Hamilton wins the header. Wagner looks to flick it on to Moreno. And tracking this one down is Martinez. Only as far as Harry Swartz. Portillo over to Kalen Ryden now. Ryden finds Suggs here on the near side. New Mexico content to sit in possession here. This is Greg Hurst. And you're really starting to see, Chris, Greg Hurst sinking back to get more involved with the play here. As this flag stays down for Suggs. He's got options in the box. Lofts this one up. He's going to find Moreno. How's your touch? Armando Moreno off the rebound, and it's tapped home. First professional goal for Alex Wagner. And it comes in the 22nd minute. New Mexico take the lead over Monterey Bay. It's the 18-year-old from Taos, New Mexico, announcing himself.
That is absolutely tremendous. What a moment for Alex Wagner. Like you say, 18 years old, born and bred New Mexican, and what a touch by Armando Moreno. Plucks that ball out of the sky from a really deep cross from Suggs. Great strike, too hot to handle. Wagner the first to react, just like the fox in the box, just always sniffing around saying, where's the ball going to pop out? And it won't be the prettiest goal he ever scores, but he will not care one little bit.
Replays tonight brought to you by TLC, and Alex Wagner, the 18-year-old out of the New Mexico United Academy, scoring his first professional goal. And you know that feels good to get that out of the way in just the 22nd minute.
Oh, yeah, absolutely amazing. I know his mom is in the crowd tonight as well. I think this might be the first time she's been able to come down and watch as well. I was talking to her pre-game. And yeah, so having family in the crowd, scoring your first professional goal, yeah, the longer it goes on as a forward when you don't score as well, obviously it starts eating at you, right? So yeah, to get that out of the way, he's going to be buzzing around. He's going to be buzzing for the next few days, I would imagine.
Alex Wagner committed to the University of Michigan, where he'll be headed off to play soccer for the Wolverines in the fall. But in the meantime, donning the black and yellow of his home state here of New Mexico, and scoring the opening goal here tonight.
And right before the goal happened, you were talking about Greg Hurst as well. He's very much playing, he's basically marking Revelar, taking away the 6 for Monterey Bay, and then trying to get as high as he can, as quickly as he can, whenever New Mexico United break forwards. And there, it's really Moreno and Wagner who are playing just ahead of him, but it is very much a front three in possession for New Mexico United. Drop into almost a 4-5-1 out of possession, with Hurst dropping deeper and doing a role for the team defensively as well.
Hamilton comes in to take this one off the feet of Chuy Enriquez. And that goal by Alex Wagner, presented by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And Greg Hurst lets this one go with the left foot, and that's no problem for Siaha.
Greg Hurst there really didn't have any other option other than to hit it, and just thought, why not? You know, with his left foot there, he's been on a decent run of form recently, finding the back of the net as well. So why not?
Here's Dixon. 7 goals scored this season for Alex Dixon. And just a miscommunication there between Dixon. It looked like Donor was asking for it to be played forward. Revelar was not quite expecting that. That's a throw in here for New Mexico. That's also going to give us a little bit of time to tell you about ESPN Plus. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus. The home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. And Chris, that's twice now here in just about the last minute that we've seen possession just squandered here by Monterey Bay.
Yeah, they're definitely not on the same wavelength. A bunch of the guys out there right now, and maybe a little rattled by that goal as well. Just struggling to find any kind of rhythm. I'm struggling to think of Tambakis being tested so far, which will obviously delight the New Mexico coaching staff.
Rain starting to come down a little bit harder here at the lab. 27 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on the call. Alex Wagner scoring his first professional goal here just 5 minutes ago in the 22nd minute. Seeing the black and yellow ahead here of the Crisp and Kelp. And this is, it hasn't only been but just 35 days, but somewhat of a full circle moment for Alex Wagner. He actually made his professional debut at Cardinale Stadium against Monterey Bay.
There's just a little insight into the frustration there. Yellow card, and obviously just absolutely smashing the ball into the pavilion there. I'm hoping that all the fans over there were paying attention, because is that Boone, I believe, or was it Volosky? You haven't really said his name very much. Obviously, Championship Player of the Month, on a rich vein of form right now, and hasn't really had a sniff so far tonight.
Yeah, Christian Volesky, he's also scored the most goals against New Mexico United in this series matchup history. He's got 2 against the black and yellow. If you're curious, on the other side, it's Chris Wehan for New Mexico, who's also scored twice against Monterey Bay. But yeah, as you were saying, Volesky has not been involved a ton. It's more so been tried to be run through Chase Boone.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think, and obviously that's probably one of the things that the coaching staff in New Mexico talked about was, how do you keep the attacking power of Monterey Bay? How do you keep them under check? And so far, you've got to say it's been pretty successful.
Chase Boone out of Beaverton, Oregon, the Portland area, went to the University of the Redlands. He scored against New Mexico last season, did Chase Boone.
So one interesting point that I know, obviously, we do a little research before we do these, even though people might think we don't, based on how much we talk. But Monterey Bay have played 2 more games. Obviously, New Mexico United have already had those 2 bye weeks. 2 more games, but scored 7 more goals than New Mexico in the league so far. However, on 3 less shots on target. So New Mexico have had 30 shots, have only scored 10 goals, and Monterey on 27 shots have scored 17 goals. That is some conversion rate. So while we're talking about how New Mexico United have kept them quiet, this is actually not too dissimilar. Monterey Bay, they appear to be very, very efficient when they do get those chances, though.
17 goals on just 27 shots on target. It's an incredible conversion rate, really. So we did see a yellow card issued to Christian Volesky there in the 28th minute. Yellow cards brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Ball cleared out by Kalen Ryden. Hurst able to get the first touch on it. Portillo now surveys his options. Elects to go backwards for Harry Swartz. Onside flag raised on Alex Wagner. Tonight's goal scorer. And just the energy that he plays with. Look at the defensive pressure from 72. Just the way that he attacks out there. I was talking with one of the members of the New Mexico United front office prior to today's match, and just talking a little bit about Alex Wagner. And they said that Wagner kind of reminds them of like a Tasmanian devil out on the pitch. And so, of course, I had to take it a step further. And since he's from Taos, can we just call him the Tasmanian devil?
You know what? I'll just do the rest of the game myself. You can leave now.
Suggs. He's got Moreno, but the offside flag is raised on the near side, on the far side, excuse me, on Josh Suggs. As it looked as though he and Moreno had something cooking here. Instead, it'll be a Fiesta Auto free kick. He lays this one off, gets it right back. Poked away by Kalen Ryden. Falls back now. Here's Boone. Hamilton eventually back to Tambakis, who deals with the pressure. Back to Kai Green. Dixon now. Out of Bay City, Texas. Former Pittsburgh Riverhounds man. This ball laid forward. It's Martinez. Martinez. Instead, it's Alex Tambakis. I can't believe you didn't like my Tasmanian devil.
I'm still offended.
I
haven't said much since you said it. I'm shocked.
I thought that was great.
I'm actually disgusted. But I do believe that sounds like a T-shirt that's about to be released. You better trademark it quick. Is that the right word, trademark? Is that right? I don't even know if that's the right word, but...
Hamilton. Flag goes up. Offside on the New Mexico United captain. Hamilton already found himself on the score sheet this season. Scored here at the Lab. That was his first time scoring since the 2019 season, the first season for the Black and Yellow. So he's taken over the captain's armband from Josh Suggs this year. It's Anthony Siaha, Tucson, Arizona native. Played his college soccer at Cal State Bakersfield. Did his professional debut last July. It was a 2-0 win at Orange County. Siaha, unfortunately for him, has not been able to secure a clean sheet in his 2 trips here out to the 505. As you mentioned, conceding twice in the matchup last fall in August. Already conceding once here to Alex Wagner in the 22nd minute.
You're talking about clean sheets, obviously, but neither team, Monterey Bay in 9 games, New Mexico United in 7 games. Both have only managed 1 clean sheet so far this season, so it's not necessarily a surprise. But Tambakis will be hoping that today is number 2.
And for New Mexico, you mentioned the lone clean sheet that they have on this season. You got to go back to the season opener. It was the 1-0 win at Miami FC. As that shot is blocked by a sliding Armando Moreno. Bank of America corner kick. Corner kick comes in here, and that one did not miss by much. I believe that was Yoseki climbing the ladder. and just unable to get that one on frame. Let's have a look at this TLC replay here. Off the corner kick, it was Yoseki indeed, and that one looked to have maybe just nicked the crossbar too.
Yeah, and you could see Tambakis was rooted to the spot. He just creates just a little separation from Kalen Wright in there. Gets a lovely connection on it, considering he's going away from goal. Great direction as well, but just couldn't quite get over it enough to keep it underneath the crossbar. But that was a little warning shot for New Mexico United. We said about how efficient Monterey are when they get in the attacking third. We haven't had many chances, but that was one where if that was on target, I don't think Tambakis was going to get there.
And it's important to remember when these two clubs met just 35 days ago, New Mexico scored the opener. It was Chris Wehan notching one in the 12th minute, and then what followed was just an onslaught from the host that night at Cardinale Stadium, Gleedle. Actually, it was Dixon scoring first in the 33rd, then Gleedle in the 40th. Valesky bagging a brace that night, just 20 minutes apart in the 50th and then 71st. And by that time, the damage already done. Armando Moreno's 76th minute goal really didn't mean much, as that one ended 4-2. And so Monterey Bay have been in this position already against this club this season.
Yeah, and that, we mentioned that earlier. That one would have stung New Mexico United as well. Very early on in the season, but getting your noses in front. Everyone talks about how important the first goal is, and New Mexico United once again got the first goal tonight, but it has been a little bit of a theme, unfortunately, where they struggle to maybe hold on to leads.
Harry Swartz going in the book here, a yellow card here in the 37th minute, as Swartz knew exactly what he was doing there on that TLC replay. And, yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Chuy Enriquez.
Sorry, just going back to that point about the scoring the first goal. Monterey Bay, when conceding the first goal, have a record of winning 1, drawing 1, and losing 2. So hope for New Mexico United, but unfortunately that one win is against New Mexico United.
Moreno with a quick touch. The black and yellow looking to break. Moreno's got options, trying to connect with Hurst. The Scotsman, Greg Hurst, and perhaps being maybe a little too unselfish there, looking to find Harry Swartz. The angle really wasn't there for a shot, but Siaha is livid here.
Yeah, that was a great bit. That's what Armando Moreno brings this team. And I think he's playing with a little chip on his shoulder tonight, maybe being a little frustrated with starting some games on the bench and having to make do with that, but the pace at which he breaks, great ball into Hurst. I just wanted to see him just hit that with his left foot. He had one earlier on. This one was much closer. Siena was struggling a little bit. Just test out the goalkeeper, but elected to try and cross it. Yes, the other guys weren't able. The break happened so fast they weren't able to keep up.
Greg Hurst already 2 goals on this USL Championship season. He scored here against Phoenix Rising back on April 26th, and then again 3 days later against OC on April 29th. A couple of big home wins here for the black and yellow. There's here a Fiesta Auto free kick. There's Walmer Martinez, Santa Cruz, California native, former Hartford Athletic man. There's Martinez with the left foot. It's headed away by Sam Hamilton. Donor down to Boone. Boone has that deflected out. It's going to be a throw in here for the Crispin Kelp. Ryden seen that one out. 40 minutes gone by here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on the call. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN Plus, Estrella TV. If you're watching all the way back in California, thanks for hanging out with us here. It's a beautiful night here at the lab. A little bit rainy, but all things considered, still a pretty great night for some USL Championship action.
If you have boxes to tick when it comes to conditions to play soccer in, these tick a lot of them.
And here, a chance for the visitors and a goal line clearance by Will Seymour. Just give him the save of the night already, as Tambakis was beaten, and Seymour comes in to keep the equalizer out.
I mean, the way he reads that there, obviously Tambakis comes off his line, and Tambakis flashes up on the screen there, but he has Will Seymour to think. You can see he just never stops running, just sensing the danger there, and gets behind Tambakis and deflects it, essentially clears it into the grateful grasp of Tambakis there.
Wagner goes down, no foul called. Yeah, that was a golden opportunity there for Enriquez. These next 5 minutes plus stoppage going to be absolutely crucial here for New Mexico. Swartz looking for Moreno. Poked away anyway by Moby Fair. Seymour comes up again with a big defensive play back to Tambakis, who is facing pressure there from Dixon. The pressure resulting in a turnover. First, looking to play this out for Josh Suggs. Battling here with Donor and Suggs. He's going to be called for the foul.
He just got told that's his last warning as well, right? He had a little wry smile on his face as he was jogging back. But, I mean, that was a pretty nothing challenge there, unfortunately. But I think the referee's starting to reach the end of his tether here.
Valesky. 2 goals, 21 minutes apart. Last time these two teams played for Christian Valesky. Here's Donor. Spell of possession here for Monterey Bay. Valesky lets it run, and it's cleared out by Seymour. And here, some played forward for Wagner. Siaha comes out, and Wagner applying pressure. Monterey Bay starting to ask some questions here of New Mexico late in this first half, and key interception from Hamilton as Wagner loses his footing.
I think you can say that Monterey are having their best spell of the game so far. New Mexico United will be very happy to get in 1-0 up here. The ball into Wagner there, and he just tries to turn, loses his foot, and I think the message from the bench was just to keep the ball, maybe play the way he was facing, allow New Mexico to get out, because they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper as Monterey start to push a little bit here.
Into the 45th minute we go, and we're hearing that there's actually going to be 0 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Chris, great coffee is a matter of opinion, and so we should be getting a whistle here in just about half a minute. Wagner still applying pressure. Like, I know you don't like it, but we're going to run with it. The Tasmanian Devil, Alex Wagner. He's everywhere. Like, the people at home can't see you, but I'm going to tell him he nodded in agreement. And that is the end of the first half. Alex Wagner, the 18-year-old in New Mexico United Academy product, on the score sheet 22 minutes in. It's the lone goal here of the first 45. Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty entertaining first half there. Both teams, especially towards the end there, Monterey Bay really coming into the game and starting to ask some questions. So it's going to be really interesting to see how both teams approach the second half here.
It's halftime. The score 1-0 New Mexico leading Monterey Bay here at the Lab, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll be back on the other side of this with halftime.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United,
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no. Anda, dime, primita de mi corazón.
Ludacris in concert.
Hands up! Get back, you don't know me like that.
One explosive night of his biggest hits. Friday, June 23rd at Sandia Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at Sandia Resort and Casino box office or online at sandiacasino.com. The hottest show of the year, Ludacris. Friday, June 23rd, Sandia Amphitheater.
Hey, Luda!
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Back here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at the Lab, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. New Mexico United leading Monterey Bay FC 1-0. Halftime brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Also brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And Chris, we've got plenty to get into here for halftime. So let's just go ahead and jump right into things. Starting off first with a look at our Western Conference standings. New Mexico just out of the playoff line, sitting in 9th place, looking to change their fortune here tonight. Monterey Bay sitting at 6th place above that playoff line.
Yeah, I mean, you can see New Mexico United played less games than almost all the other teams, so playing catch-up from the start, and that's such a weird mentality to have each week, looking at the table. But, you know, games in hand are games in hand. They would much rather have the points on the board, though.
You see the -1 goal differential for the black and yellow coming into this game. That back at even par as the score stands. News and notes coming up next, and lots to get into here. And so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. A new USL president, Pac McDonough, named the USL president. He spent 20-plus years in American soccer, most recently the chief soccer officer at Wasserman. Also, the Need Support campaign being kicked off. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the broadcast. And 2 USL Championship teams advancing into the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. It's Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Birmingham Legion as they'll advance to take on Columbus Crew and Charlotte FC of MLS. Upcoming schedule here on ESPN Plus. We've got some good ones on hand. San Diego Loyal and RGV doing battle. That one going on today. A little bit later tonight, Phoenix Rising hosting Hartford Athletic. And then later on this week, New Mexico making the trip out to the East Coast, where they're going to be taking on high-flying Loudoun United.
Yeah, and I remember Loudoun came into town here. Was it? I can't remember if it was last season. I believe it was
21.
last season, 21. Okay, and it wasn't the best game ever in terms of spectacle, but yeah, doing a great job this year so far.
Some scores here from the championship last weekend. We saw the highlights in the pre-match of New Mexico being able to pull off the miracle draw there in the Valley against the Toros. El Paso putting 3 past switchbacks, Battery blanking Las Vegas Lights 1-0, and Rowdies pitching the clean sheet against Phoenix Rising 2-0. Also got the upcoming schedule here for the Black and Yellows. We mentioned hitting the road. It's a couple of road games here for New Mexico as they travel to take on Loudoun, and then heading out to Toyota Field to take on San Antonio FC. And then, Chris, we are back 3 weeks from today as the Black and Yellow here to take on El Paso Locomotive. Then heading out to take on Tampa Bay at Al Lang Stadium. And then we'll be back here on the 17th of June to host Rio Grande Valley. And our team of the week here for Week 9, Trey Muse, the goalkeeper there from Charleston. You can see Petrovic from El Paso Locomotive, joined by his teammate Eder Borelli, and Williams getting the nod there from Tampa Bay. And so we're going to catch our breath. We'll be back with more halftime after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone. Like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, because everyone needs support.
Back here at the Lab, New Mexico United on top of Monterey Bay by way of an Alex Wagner opening goal in the 22nd minute. The 18-year-old scoring his first professional goal here tonight. And what a way to do it. Plenty more to get into here. So let's jump into our highlights from the first half. And we were talking about that Alex Wagner goal. Well, let's go ahead and just open things up with it. It was Amando Moreno right before that shot was unleashed with the sweetest of first touches, and Wagner there to pounce on the rebound.
Yeah, Moreno, a huge amount of credit. Plucked the ball out of the air as it dropped over his shoulder. Turned so quickly, defender can't react. Unleashes a really vicious shot. Keeper just can't out, and there's Alex Wagner, just quickest to react. And look at what it means to him in the crowd immediately. 18-year-old, first professional goal. Tremendous moment.
And nearly just minutes later, the equalizer from Monterey Bay. This one just headed over, as that one looked like it might have actually caught the crossbar. New Mexico with another chance here. Hurst tries to connect with Swartz, just overplays it.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it during the broadcast. I would have loved to have seen him just take a shot from there. Maybe it's bobbled again, you know, get a rebound for someone else running in. But decides to be unselfish, which is surprising considering, again, what a rich vein of form he's been in recently.
And this here, another great chance at an equalizer. Tambakis was beaten, but Will Seymour to save the day here with the goal line clearance, able to preserve the clean sheet for New Mexico. And that is how things stand here with the black and yellow leading 1-0. Let's go ahead and have a look at our first half stats and see how this one's played out so far. Brought to you by Duke City Cares. And really not a whole lot going on for New Mexico. The 3 shots on target, but Monterey Bay dominating possession here.
Yeah, it's interesting that I wouldn't necessarily have thought that, basically, you know, if I'm just watching the game until we saw that and we're handed the stats. But yeah, I mean, the areas of the field that Monterey have had the ball is probably the issue that the coaching staff will have. It's been good building out from the back through the middle third, but once they get into that attacking third until maybe the last 6-7 minutes, they really struggle to test New Mexico United's back line or Tambakis.
So just a few minutes remaining here of halftime. We're going to go ahead, step aside. Halftime brought to you by First Financial Credit Union.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive,
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
Halftime here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on the call. It's the only home match of the month for the black and yellow here as we took you through the upcoming schedule. Not back until June 3rd. And they return to face rival from down south, El Paso Locomotive. But so far here, Chris, 45 minutes to go. New Mexico on top 1-0. Alex Wagner scoring his first professional goal in the 22nd minute. So we've got about 90 seconds left of halftime here. Take us through the halftime team talks in the locker rooms here. Say if you're Zach Prince.
It's an interesting one because I think there'll be a lot that he's pleased with. I think New Mexico United have looked dangerous when they break. They've probably not created enough chances for his liking. They have managed to keep Monterey Bay at arm's length though and limit them to the amount of chances. There was the 2 chances I can think of, very, very good chances.
Right.
So those will be fresh in his mind, talking about avoiding giving them those kind of chances because they tend to not miss. They probably won't make the same mistake a third time.
So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing what I'm told here. New Mexico United are unbeaten in their last 15 USL Championship matches when leading at the half. In fact, they've won 12 and drawn 3, dating all the way back to August 29th, 2021. That was the last time they lost when leading at halftime. It was against Phoenix Rising, losing that night 3-2. Monterey Bay on the flip side, they've got a record of 1 win, 1 loss, no draws this season when trailing at halftime in USL Championship play. So 45 to go here. It's Anthony Siaha. And Alex Wagner, the goal scorer in the center circle to get things underway here. As New Mexico defeated Monterey Bay here last season at the Lab 2-0. Looking to replicate those results here once again tonight and see if they'll be able to even the season series here after Monterey Bay's early victory just 35 days ago. Here's Boone. He was very active on the ball in the first 45. As Portillo slides and goes down.
I think just as he slid there, you can see the concern from Donor there, where he just caught him. Just, I don't know if it was on his shoulder. It looks like he's holding. I thought he got hit on his back, but you could just see he just clipped him and completely accidentally. See by the concern there that it was nothing intentional. Just a fully committed. You can see there as he's running over him, just catches him. Yeah, just a little bit on the back there, but it looks like Portillo's going to be okay to carry on.
Justin Portillo, the New Orleans, Louisiana native. It's a cool moment after the match on Wednesday night in Austin. As Portillo's younger brother was actually at the match. The two got to share a moment with Justin giving his kit and taking a photo in a somewhat empty stadium. You know, just the things that the fans typically don't see. Those moments that mean the most to the players. Suggs goes to ground. Still going to be a throw-in here for the visitors. Donor. Rory Donor out of Collingwood, Ontario. Ryden plays this one out. Martinez. Dueling there with Hamilton, able to win the throw-in. So first couple minutes here in favor of Monterey Bay, and Dixon sends this one across the face of goal. Past the outstretched arms of Alex Tambakis, and it's going to be a throw-in here for New Mexico.
New Mexico just caught Nap and haven't really come out fast in the second half here. Dixon, I think it might have been a shot, but he just gets a shove just at the right moment by Ryden there, which means, you know, he pulls it a little wide, but puts so much power on that. Any kind of touch in the middle, whether it be from a defender or an attacker, and that would have gone flying into the back of the net.
The USL on ESPN continues as the summer heats up. Memphis 901 FC and Aaron Malloy head to the Valley of the Sun to face Manuel Arteaga and Phoenix Rising FC. It's Phoenix versus Memphis, Saturday, July 1st at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Monterey Bay threatening once again. The offside flag goes up. But it's the visitors asking all the questions here to start the second half, Chris.
Yeah, it really is. New Mexico United need to change something quickly here, whether it's just a mentality check or just some time in possession as well, because, like you say, it's all Monterey Bay right now. Just waiting there. There was some hopeful looks towards the goal, just hoping that the ball didn't end up in the net, but it turns out with the assistant referee's flag up anyway, it wouldn't have counted even if it had gone in. But yeah, Monterey Bay really impressed with how they've come out of the locker room.
Wagner, the goalkeeper, giving chase. The goal scorer, excuse me. Fair. Connects with Martinez. Back to Will be fair. Fair, the former Las Vegas Lights man. Five minutes gone by here in the second half. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on the call. Kambakis, no hurry here to get things restarted. Here's Martinez. That one poked away by Seymour. Hamilton over to Portillo. Seymour eventually just gets rid of it. Only as far as fair. Now Green.
Anytime Monterey Bay right now, anytime they lose the ball, they're almost hunting in packs. Just immediate pressure. The transition from attack to defense for them is really unsettling New Mexico United. You see they were just trying to connect 2, 3, 4 passes there, but all of the passes were so small that the defender was able to just run between them there and just constant pressure. And eventually, I say, Will Seymour just had to kick the ball away. So, again, Monterey Bay, the intensity that they've come out with is really, really starting to take its toll on New Mexico United in terms of they're just not able to keep the ball.
Seymour draws the foul. It's a Fiesta Auto free kick coming up. And that's one of those that we see from Will Seymour at least once a match here, Chris, as he just uses his body to wall off the opposition. You can see there the expression from Moby Fair once he's called for the foul. Portillo looking to switch this one over to Yearwood and instead gives possession away. Here's Boone. Actually, it's going to be Donor. Donor, you mentioned, coming over from Halifax Wanderers as a free agent back in February of 2022. Molesky now. Molesky, Championship Player of the Month, gives the ball away. The official wags his finger there as Siaha deals with the pressure. Deflects to Portillo. Here's Suggs, gets it right back. Josh Suggs now, the Las Cruces native. That one floats over the head of Alex Wagner to Anthony Siaha. Attacking, this is Enriquez. Enriquez was the one who had his shot cleared off the line by Will Seymour in the first half. And here we go, Sam Hamilton shown a yellow card after he and Dixon get in each other's faces. And so Hamilton, the second New Mexico United player to be booked here in the 53rd minute. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. Alex Dixon going to be responsible for delivering this one. Let's have a look at this TLC replay here as Hamilton took exception there. And immediately the official stepping in and Hamilton going in the book. So that's Hamilton and Swartz and also Valesky all in the book here. Free kick underway by Seymour, and it's Yearwood, but might have waited just a little too long on that one.
Yeah, you could see Seymour was at full extension there to get ahead on it. It was a lovely little clip ball in. It was dropping around about the 6-yard box. Really dangerous, and Seymour, let's say, full extension to get that away.
Dixon delivers again. This time it's New Mexico heading back the other way. Greg Hurst looking to play forward for Moreno and instead connects with Donor. Falls to Boone. Molesky now unleashes one and drags it wide. So we're going to see our first substitution here tonight. It's one New Mexican replacing another. Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas coming in to replace the goal scorer Alex Wagner. Rivas, he's enjoyed a good run of form recently in league play for New Mexico.
I'll assume that means that Greg Hurst will go back to a more, I guess, natural position for him. A little higher, spearheading the attack, and it does look like he's moved a little higher with Sergio Rivas maybe just dropping in the hole just behind him.
Rivas, he scored in back-to-back USL Championship games. Scoring here 2 weeks ago against Orange County. And a red card shown to Sam Hamilton. And New Mexico will be down to 10 men for the rest of the night. And so this certainly changes the complexion of the rest of the match here as Sam Hamilton shown the door. As we have another look here on this TLC replay. Hamilton just came in a little bit late there. And New Mexico will be down to 10.
It's a risky tackle, especially so close, and Hamilton has the experience to know this as well. He'll be disappointed, but given the referee decision to make there, so close to his first yellow card as well, so still fresh in the mind of the referee. He was very, very quick to come across and give him his marching orders.
Red card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Swartz goes to ground. Now, Chris, these next 35 minutes plus stoppage are going to be very interesting.
It's especially seen as, Monterey Bay have been very, very good at the start of the second half. But now you add man advantage as well. It is all going against Zach Prince and New Mexico United early on in the second half, but they still have that 1-goal lead to hang on to. And when a team has something to hang on to like that, they have something to fight for, that siege mentality, you can hear the crowds a little frustrated with the way things have started in the second half as well. They might be able to get that, like I say, that siege mentality. And again, do I think they're going to be pouring on, attacking soccer and trying to push for the second goal? I really do think it's going to be a case of shut up shop and can they hold on to what they've got. It's going to be a long night for Greg Hurst now, I would imagine. He's going to be very isolated up top. Looks like New Mexico United just settling into basically a 4-4-1, 2 banks of 4, trying to stay nice and compact. Hurst is surrounded, here he is here, surrounded by 4-5 Monterey Bay players, but he still manages to connect the pass and get it out there.
And Hurst, this is something that we've seen from him developing lately in terms of his role and getting involved. He's been playing sort of a little bit more involved as like a playmaker, more so of a hold-up 9. And it's really been suiting him.
And there was a couple of games where him and Dolling as well, just playing just behind him. Dolling had those 3 assists in that game. It looked like it was clicking, but then RGV just didn't quite work out. So back to the drawing board for the coaching staff.
Moreno plays it back, looking for Rivas, and Rivas has scored in his 3rd consecutive USL Championship match, and New Mexico go up 2-0 on Monterey Bay. 1 man down, no problem. The insurance goal for the black and yellow in the 60th minute.
Armando Moreno, take a bow, just never gave up on that ball. Made a 45, 50-yard sprint from out to in from the right side. Ends up just inside the box. Ball ricochets around. And then he just hits like a hopeful back heel, hoping that someone was trailing his run. And there was Sergio Rivas, who was just first to react to that ball. And what a composed finish. Most people would slash at that with their left foot. He just opens his hips up and passes it into the far right corner. Keeper has absolutely no chance.
And what a run of form here for the hometown kid, Sergio Rivas. 3 consecutive league games with the goal. Orange County, RGV, and then again here tonight. And what a time for that one to come. Hamilton sent off just 4 minutes prior. Things were looking like they were going to take a turn for the worst. And this, a massive goal for the black and yellow.
Huge goal, but again, there's still a long way to go. And down to 10 men. And Monterey Bay, I think that's the first real chance New Mexico United have created in the second half. There was one little foray forward from Suggs earlier on, but other than that, it's been slim pickings. But boy, did they make it count.
Well, and if there's one club out there that knows that a 2-0 lead is not safe, especially late in a match, it's New Mexico United. 8 days ago, they played last Friday in RGV, a 2-0 deficit in the 90th minute. 2 goals in second half stoppage time to steal a point from the Toros. And so the black and yellow know job's not done here tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's the message. And the message at halftime, even when it was just 1-0, was just keep going. And I barely finished the sentence. Do I think New Mexico United will attack much more? And just to make me look a right idiot, there's Sergio Rivas who pops up. But again, what a finish that was. Under immense pressure, and instead of just slashing at it with his left foot, he just opens his hips up and pops it in the bottom corner. And like you say, insurance goal. Monterey Bay now, they really have to go for it if they want to get back in this game.
And for Sergio Rivas, his 10th goal in black and yellow, netting 5 times in his first season here in 2021, scored twice last year. His 3rd goal in as many matches here. And now the crowd into it. Moreno tracking back to do some defensive work. And how about that? Able to pick that ball off of Enriquez.
Right, another shout out for Armando Moreno. Involved heavily in both goals tonight. Obviously the first touch for the first goal where he just plucked the ball out of the air, and at least that shot, and Wagner there to pop in the rebound. And again, just the work rate, and he's just shown it again defensively, but the work rate and the intensity, he does everything. He must be an absolute nightmare to play against. He does it right. There's no such thing as a lost cause. He'll just run down blind alleys just because it's it's what he does, and he must be an absolute joy to play with.
Right, and mishits that one. It's going to be a Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Armando Moreno scoring against Monterey Bay earlier this season. He did score the 2nd goal for New Mexico later on. This ball headed away by Will Seymour. Ball's here to Enriquez. Near side, Dixon. Finds Boone. And this one played out. Swartz goes up and draws the foul. It was a collision here at the near post, and the official immediately calling for the training staff here is signaling it's a head injury. And so we do have a quick break in the action. And so we've got an official attendance figure here for you tonight, presented by New Mexico Mutual. Tonight's attendance, Chris, 9,874 fans on hand here at the lab.
Tremendous backing as usual from the New Mexico faithful on a rainy night, which is first rainy night we've had for several months. And obviously they've all been handed out goodies as they've walked in the door, so making plenty noise tonight.
Looks like those hand clappers brought to you by NM811. Tonight's match sponsor were given away at the gates tonight, and so that the sound that you're able to hear has nothing but reasons to cheer tonight here for the nearly 9,900 on hand. As the home side on top. 2 goals, 2 New Mexicans on the score sheet. Alex Wagner in the 22nd minute, Sergio Rivas in the 60th minute. And this, the identical scoreline when these two clubs played here last season, back in August. There's Green. What a flick there as Seymour has to just deal with that one. 66 minutes. Here's Donor. Martinez able to corral that one. Oseki. Is this off? Enriquez now. Swartz going to be whistled for handball.
I don't understand those ones where I'm not sure what the defender's supposed to do. It's smashed at him from half a foot away. It's really hard to become invisible. But get referee there. And it's interesting. Monterey Bay just looked like they're maybe getting a little frustrated. It was all Monterey. And then the red card happened. You feared the worst for New Mexico United. That goal by Sergio Rivas really looks like it's knocked the stuffing out of them a little bit.
This is Alex Dixon standing over to play this free kick in. Guest auto free kick. 34 appearances last season for Pittsburgh, as he sends that over the head of everybody. Scored 13 goals over the last 2 years for Riverhounds. Prior to that, spent a couple seasons at Hartford. He and Harry Swartz, teammates back in the 2020 season. Also 2019. Ryden sends this one back to Alex Tambakis. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. What are your thoughts so far, Chris?
I'm actually a little surprised that we haven't seen a change from Monterey, especially after the red card and you know, the goal specifically, because again, so maybe they've just ran out of ideas a little bit, and the coaching staff, they have to be thinking about making a change because it's getting down there now. Last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you imagine, with a bit of stoppage time. It's getting down to it, so you got to imagine they've got to try something a little different. And again, Valesky, you've got to be a brave man to take him off the pitch because he could score in the blink of an eye, but he's really struggled to find the game. And a lot of the attacking threat that Monterey Bay have, New Mexico have managed to keep them at arm's length.
Here's Boone. And connects with Moreno. Enriquez has that one taken off his feet. Seymour going on a run and eventually poked off his feet. He's asking for a foul and he's going to get it.
Yeah, it was good advantage played by the referee there. We had to see because Seymour was on a bit of a tear there, just bulldozing his way through the midfield of Monterey Bay. Just got pulled back a little bit, and referee wanted to see if he could continue, couldn't, so brought it back for the foul.
Here's Suggs. Into the 70th minute of the match we go, and the 70th minute brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, here's Rivas looking to connect with Moreno and instead headed away. That was Martinez tracking all the way back for the defensive header as the black and yellow continuing to push forward, looking for a third here.
A lovely little combination play there with Hurst and Rivas. And Suggs as well involved in there. Just little one-touch passing, keeping the ball moving and forcing Monterey Bay back on their heels. They don't want to be in this area of the field. Extra man, and they're really, again, that goal has really bewildered them a little bit because they're really struggling to get the ball in the area of the field where they want it right now.
Bank of America corner kick here for Justin Portillo. This one in, and it's played out as far as Josh Suggs. Suggs will play it in now, and New Mexico asking for a call. They're not going to get it. What did you see there, Chris?
Well, just the handball he's just given against Harry Schwartz. Almost exactly the same, hand in an unnatural position. Granted, I am about 150 yards away, but I think from my vantage point, that looked like a handball, and by the reactions of the players closest to that, I would say there's a question to answer there.
We get another look here at this TLC replay. Harry Schwartz drawing the foul. Massachusetts native Harry Schwartz put in quite the shift in the midweek against Austin. Looking for Suggs. The offside flag goes up on the veteran out of Las Cruces. '72nd minute. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand at the lab. It's the second meeting between these two clubs this season, just 35 days apart. Monterey Bay victorious at Cardinale Stadium back on April 8th. 4-2 the score that night. As Seymour heads this one on. He connects with Enriquez. Cross from Enriquez, finds Dixon, and the header finds the arms of Alex Kambakis. Takes a deflection there, it looked like. Dixon has that pass intercepted by Suggs. Rivas now goes out to Yearwood. Looking for Hurst, and Yearwood unable to connect with the Scotsman. The USL is committed to caring for the mental health of our players, fans, and communities. The Need Support campaign includes a partnership with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, a free confidential support line for anyone having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health crisis. Need support? Call or text 988. And so here, Chris, the subs you were asking for earlier, it looks like Dawkins and Acoli will be entering for the visitors. And for New Mexico, the Englishman Greg Hurst the Englishman Josh Dalling replacing the Scotsman Greg Hurst. I've never seen you turn your head so quick.
I just know how Scottish people like being called English and how English people like being called Scottish. I feel that one.
That was my mistake. And so Chase Boone will be replaced here tonight. Working on seeing who the other sub was. So it's Ugo Acoli and Simon Dawkins coming on here for Monterey's Union, looking for a couple of late goals here over the final 15 minutes in stoppage. looks like might have been Yoseki was the other player to come off there for Monterey Bay. And so all of those substitutions are brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. And Josh Dalling coming out, the Englishman, put up a hat trick of assists. His last time out here against Orange County, first time in club history. That's happened here for New Mexico United, the 25th time in league history.
Yeah, once again, though, I feel like his remit will probably be a little more defensive. And he probably knows that, stepping on the field, New Mexico United down to 10 men after the dismissal of Sam Hamilton. So he probably knows he's stepping onto a field where he's maybe not going to see a lot of the ball, but he's going to have to do a lot of work to try and block passing lanes, take space, prevent passes into the midfield is really going to be his job for the remainder of the second half here. And if he can get a chance here and there as well, happy days.
Kai Green, former Oakland Roots man. Ugo Akoli, the 30-year-old. And eventually the shot let go by Moby Fair. Just heads right on over the crossbar there of Alex Tambakis. So actually, our apologies, it was not Yoseki that was replaced. It was actually Chuy Enriquez.
It was a little confusing for a second there. It's Yoseki's actually dropped into the defensive line for Monterey Bay, so and a little change, and it looks like Zach Prince has said one too many things here. Might be having a word with the referee. Might have a word. Yeah, there it is, a yellow card for him.
So Ferguson Law Firm, yellow card shown to Zach Prince. So he'll have to mind himself here over the final 15 minutes and change. As you can see, just the I apologize, I don't mean to laugh, but just the look of disgust there from Zach Prince's face.
I wonder if the fourth official could feel the burning eyes on him from behind, because he was just staring him down there. But yeah, there was moments there where, like I say, it felt like New Mexico United, everything was going against them. Then the red card, all the pressure was down there in the field. But you have to say they've done well. They've weathered the storm. They've got a foothold in the game. And again, Monterey Bay are ringing the changes, trying to ignite some kind of, at least a threat of a comeback.
Simon Dawkins, the other sub that came on. Prior to playing at Monterey Bay, spent some time at Ipswich Town in the championship. Before that, spent some time in MLS with San Jose Earthquakes. Also spent a number of years at Derby County. 4 Premier League appearances with Aston Villa as well. So we talk about the career here for Simon Dawkins, the 35-year-old Jamaican. Also got 18 caps for his country, scored 3 times for the Reggae Boys. New Mexico still putting pressure here as Donor eventually able to relieve some pressure as he connects with Dawkins. Excuse me, that was Yoseki. This one's going to go out. Throw in here for New Mexico. Kai Green, the captain. Over 180 USL Championship appearances in Kai Green's career. Here's Dawkins. Back to Fair now. Ball poked away by Ryden. Dawkins gets the deflection. Here's Akoli now. Akoli tries to play the cross in, and eventually Monterey Bay able to pull one back. It was Revelar scoring here in the 80th minute, and the Union have pulled one back here late, Chris.
Yeah, and you could see New Mexico United, they kept dropping deeper and deeper, and when you're down to 10 men, the default is almost like a 4-4-1. But they're almost like a back five with three ahead of them, and again, Darling just all by himself up top. You see him getting deeper and deeper, and they weren't really moving, weren't really reacting to the movement. Looked a little tired. And the deflection is what killed Tambak. As you can see, I think it just came off. Was it Seymour? I think maybe just a little deflection of Seymour on its way through. Yeah, that just took it away from Tambak. It looked like he might have had it covered. He was expecting it to go into his bottom left-hand corner. And when Seymour stuck a leg out, it just deflected it back in another direction. Wrong foot at the goalkeeper. Game on now.
Game on, and keep in mind, New Mexico are playing with 10 men. Sam Hamilton was sent off with a red card in the 56th minute, just 3 minutes after picking up his first yellow. As that Revelar goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And these are going to be a nervy last 10 minutes here for either side.
The one less man, you can just see it's just so hard for New Mexico United to gain any kind of possession. They've done it 2 or 3 times this entire second half, especially since Sam Hamilton was sent off. And with that, it's really hard for them to get up the field, so it's just inviting more and more pressure. And the more pressure that comes, the deeper they get, and the harder it is to defend. It's death by a million crosses as well for Monterey Bay. They're getting into wide areas and really putting the ball in the box, putting New Mexico United under a tremendous amount of pressure back there.
Here's the goal scorer. Revelar fires one into the box and dealt with by Austin Yearwood. Revelar, that's his second goal in USL Championship play this season. He scored 4 times for the Crispin Kelp last year in 31 appearances. '23-year-old. Revelar out of Watsonville, California. Dawkins has that one poked away. Here's Rivas now. One of the goal scorers tonight, Sergio Rivas, scored in 3 consecutive games. And how about this for a ball for Armando Moreno? Moreno cuts it back and eventually run off. So Martinez looking to build.
New Mexico United, looks like they're ready in a sub. It looks like maybe Santi Moore. I wouldn't be surprised if this is maybe for Armando Moreno. He's put so many miles in tonight. Looks a little dead on his feet and find it really hard to find a way into the game as well.
So the Spaniard out of Bordes, Spain, Santi Moar. We're getting a look at this TLC replay here. Harry Swartz drawing the foul. And you were spot on there, Chris. It's Santi Moar replacing the El Salvadorian Armando Moreno. And Moar was another one of them that put in quite the shift in the midweek against Austin. No surprise to see here coming in as a late sub. And then another thing to keep in mind here for New Mexico, they traveled out to RGV last Friday. Obviously flew back for a couple days, then flew back out to Austin to play at the Q2 on Wednesday night, flew back Thursday morning. And so it's been quite a bit of travel here for these guys. And then you take the weekend game, the midweek game. Obviously Monterey Bay as well, going 120 minutes plus PKs, although they've been playing at home over the past couple of games. Not necessarily having to factor in that travel there in the midweek and last weekend.
It can never be underestimated how much just traveling, not sleeping in your own bed, the routine that you maybe get out of, it does take it out of any athlete, and that's certainly something that could be affecting the guys along with playing down a man for such a considerable amount of time as well.
'85th minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. Monterey Bay looking to complete the comeback and steal a point here on the road. Yoseki has that one poked away by the Englishman, Josh Dalling. Dalling now. Just clears that one away. And another sub coming in here for the visitors. It's going to be Jesse Maldonado. He was a super sub as he replaces Yoseki. Maldonado came in the second half against LAFC and created tons of problems for the black and gold. We'll see if he's able to have the same sort of impact here tonight. Napoli, the offside flag goes up on the veteran. So now
Portillo, I think, maybe got a yellow card for kicking the ball away there.
You see Justin Portillo going in the book. So 87th minute yellow card for Justin Portillo, brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. You see Ugo Akoli well off. The Federal Way, Washington native. Bounced around a little bit over the past 3 seasons, playing for Austin Bold, Orange County, now Monterey Bay. Santi Moar, the Spaniard, but to track this one down, lays it off now for Dalling. Visitors back in possession. Donor. Goal scorer Adrian Revelar. Restart taken quickly. No, says the official. And now Sergio Rivas will be shown a yellow card.
I think it was a yellow card. He pulled back Revelar as he was just fighting for the ball, right? And then the little bit of afters, a little bit of extracurriculars, as you like to say, right? In there where Sergio Rivas, not adverse to getting involved in some of that stuff,
Kampakis comes out to grab this one, and Rivas in the officials' book twice tonight. 60th minute goal, 88th minute yellow card. A number of cards being distributed here this evening. You've got Valesky for Monterey Bay. For New Mexico, you had Hamilton, who received a yellow in the 53rd and then was sent off in the 56th. Portillo, Swartz, Rivas, all in the book here tonight. This is fair. Dixon finds Dawkins now. Here's the Jamaican. Martinez. This one tracked down by Christian Valesky. Swartz eventually able to deal with the pressure.
So I think the back line in New Mexico United, they're going to feel this in their foreheads tomorrow morning. Like I said earlier, it's death by a million crosses here. Monterey Bay, every chance they get the ball wide and sling the ball into the box. And Ryden, Seymour, we're doing a good job of getting on the end of it so far.
Dawkins. Here's Maldonado. I mentioned created tons of opportunities for Monterey Bay as a second half sub against LAFC. Continuing to do the same here. Dawkins finds Revelar. Martinez now, cross goes in. Seymour sends it away. 90th minute here at the Lab. The black and yellow looking to hang on for a crucial 3 points. As Dalling wins the Fiesta Auto free kick.
Huge free kick. It sounds so minimal, but winning that free kick, allowing New Mexico, allowing a little respite for the defenders of New Mexico United, who've just been under tremendous pressure for the last 30 minutes since Sam Hamilton was sent off. Can't remember the last time New Mexico United had a shot. The goal? Maybe?
Maybe. Past the 90-minute mark. That means there's 4 minutes of New Mexico Piñon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of a Piñon. And now somebody, I believe that was Frank Yallop. Not quite Frank Yallop. I believe one of his assistants shown a yellow card over on the Monterey Bay bench. And so we're actually hearing that it was shown to Chuy Enriquez over on the bench. And so New Mexico looking to hang on here. At least 3 more minutes to go. Here's Dixon. The visitors looking for an equalizer. With a man advantage. Here's Rebelard, the goal scorer. Finds Dixon, former Riverhounds man. Donor now. And Donor gives possession away. Moar draws the foul. And it's a Fiesta Auto free kick coming up for Santi Moar. Minutes of the minimum of 4 stoppage time minutes gone by here. All 9,874 fans on their feet tonight. As New Mexico looking to see this one out. Job's not done yet. Goal kick coming up here for Anthony Siahan. Really, as you were mentioning, have not said his name very much here in the second half.
Yeah, it really has been one-way traffic, right? And you know, if you're a black and yellow fan, you're hoping that New Mexico United can hold out for the last minute here, but Monterey Bay looks like they're going to create at least one more chance.
Cross goes in and across the face of goal. Donor trying to track this one down. He does. Gives it to Dawkins, former Premier Leaguer, and Dawkins gives up the goal kick. And our official, Sergei Timianchik, ensuring Tambakis is not wasting too much time here. So both sides, and now Tambakis, he was warned, to be fair, Tambakis shown a yellow card for time wasting here in the 4th minute of second half stoppage time. That yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm.
Zach Prince still very animated on the sideline in the 4th official's ear. Has to be very careful. Got that yellow card earlier on in the second half here. Tambakis knew he was going to get a yellow card and really didn't look like he cared either.
Harry Swartz here to throw it in. Dalling and Dawkins giving chase to it, eventually cleared out. And that's the full-time whistle here at the Lab. Despite going down a man in the 56th minute, New Mexico able to score a second goal and then hang on here as Alex Wagner notches his first professional goal here tonight. Chris, real quick before we get into that, Alex Wagner is your man of the match, brought to you by Pepsi out of the New Mexico United Academy, the Taos, New Mexico native, for scoring his goal in the 22nd minute. Our play of the match, Sergio Rivas, for his goal in the 60th minute. That's his third match in a row that he scored in USL Championship play. Play of the match brought to you by Michelob Ultra for the Albuquerque native. And then your save of the match, I said it when it happened there in the 39th minute, Will Seymour with the goal line clearance. What ultimately would preserve the victory here tonight. Invigorate Roofing, your sponsor there. Will Seymour had that one covered. So Chris, real quick, before we get out of here, your thoughts on tonight's match?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable defensive performance by New Mexico United. Had to dig deep once they went down to 10 men. Monterey Bay threw everything at them, including the kitchen sink, and they managed to hold firm.
Back-to-back home wins in USL Championship play here for New Mexico United. We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a moment. We'll be back to put a bow on it.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner, the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
When you get proven quality at lower than low.
New Mexico United victorious here tonight at the Lab. As you see the black and yellow celebrating this victory with the 9,874 strong here. Your Duke City Cares final score 2-1. New Mexico victorious over Monterey Bay. Let's jump into our full-time highlights here tonight and see exactly how this one played out, Chris. And it was a dream start, not only for New Mexico, but for Alex Wagner, scoring his first professional goal on this one.
Yeah, quickest to react. Beautiful touch by Moreno. Vicious shot that keeper just couldn't handle, and Wagner just the first to react to score his first professional goal.
The Tasmanian Devil, Alex Wagner, on the score sheet here in the 22nd minute. And you can see exactly what it meant to him out of the New Mexico United Academy. And that was really just getting the party started here tonight as New Mexico would answer back once again in the 60th minute, just 4 minutes after going down to 10 men. Sergio Rivas bangs this one in, his third goal in as many USL Championship matches.
And there's that Moreno man again, getting his second assist on the night there. Just a bit of a hopeful ball, but the amount of work he put in to create that chance. Sergio Rivas so cool under pressure. Opens his body up, opens his hips up, and just slots it in the bottom corner.
And what a run of form the Albuquerque native has been enjoying here as he came on as a sub to replace Wagner. And this from Rebelar in the 80th minute. It looked as though the comeback might be on here for the Crispin Kelp.
Yeah, and you can see just a little deflection off Will Seymour on its way through. Just takes it out of Tambax's grasp and sees all his weight going to his left. Ball pops to his right. And yeah, it was really the Alamo towards the end of the game, with New Mexico United just getting deeper and deeper and dealing with so many crosses into their box.
And so unfortunately there, Fortem Bacchus unable to preserve the clean sheet, but bagging the 3 points here. Our Duke City Cares full-time stats, New Mexico, all of their shots on target. Monterey Bay winning the possession battle pretty heavily, which was something that we talked about in that second half, but New Mexico weathering the storm.
Yeah, weathering the storm, and obviously the possession. It wasn't just because of the 10 men, it was before that point as well, where Monterey Bay was so comfortable in possession, but New Mexico United, again, won't really care about that stat, because the most important one is that they get the 3 points.
And so for New Mexico, on the road they go, traveling out to Loudoun and then taking on San Antonio FC before we're back here on June 3rd. And so that's going to do it for all of us here tonight. For everybody part of the broadcast, our director, Gary Williams, Chris Hurst on color. My name's Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.